Hello, what's going on everyone? Willie Apple here, and today we will be going over what I want inside of macOS 14 and iOS 17 and all that stuff. Basically all of WWDC, I'll go over watchOS as well. So yeah, let's get started. If you're here, please chat. And also, hello, also, let me know what you want inside of WWDC inside the chat. I have slow mode off today, so you can send as much as you want. Please don't spam though, or else I'll just block. So, yeah, let's go. Oh, it's coming in blurry. Okay, so WWDC is... Okay, that's just a preview. Okay, I just want to make sure that was not the actual stream. Hello, Network Mystery, welcome back. So let's go. So first off, iOS 17. Not that much I kind of want with iOS 17. Maybe more fonts. And... one second. Yeah, I think it's too late. Oh, my dog went here. Okay. So, I'm going to add a poll into the chat real fast before I talk about iOS 17. Start a poll. Most excited for iOS 17, macOS 14, watch OS 10, and iPadOS 17. Okay. Alright, so I just released a poll in the chat. Now you can vote which platform you're most excited for coming this WWDC. And now let's go. So, macOS 14 is number 1. Now iOS 17 is halfway. Okay. So first off, what I want in iOS 17 is more fonts on the lock screen. So I know what we have right now is 8, but I kind of only just use 1 since most of it's not really my style, you know. And I bet a lot of people would appreciate if Apple brought more fonts to iOS 17. And yeah, for the lock screen. Now with the home screen, Apple's probably not going to do much there. They might bring in interactive widgets. Analyst 941 said that Apple's considering it, but we are not 100% sure if interactive widgets are indeed coming with iOS 17. So, along with the home screen, what I really want is new icons coming there. Like, sorry. Like, I want the macOS icons just ported to the iPhone and iPad. Now, I think there's going to be a complication with one of them, which is the Contacts app. Yep, so Contacts app's going to be a little bit more complicated to port since it has, like, something on the side. I know macOS icons are a little bit different than iOS icons, so it's gonna they're gonna need to like do something with the Contacts app icon in order for it to be ported. So let me show you what the Contacts app icon looks like. This is why is Xcode showing? Okay. Alright, so you can see right here with the Contacts app that it's sticking out, kind of. Whereas with the icons down here, you can like add whatever you want, and they're all square mostly, except for like Xcode where it's just sticking out once again. But with the Contacts app, it just sticks out. I should turn on focus. Okay. Did I have focus already on? I think I did. Okay. So with the Contacts app on iPhone and iPad, let me switch it to the iPad. You can see that right here, it's not really sticking out. It's not like a book, how it is in in macOS 14. So, yeah, it's a little bit different, but I think that's the only one that they need to worry about if they were to bring macOS icons to the iPhone and iPad, but hopefully they figure that out, or figured that out, since I guess iOS development would be done by now if, yeah. Okay, next thing that I want with iOS 17, let me think real fast. I think, So I'll just go to iPadOS right now. So calculator app on the iPad is a must. I take a strength class. Yeah, they need to bring macOS calendar icon to iOS. Wait, it's different? Oh yeah, it is different. I did not realize that until now. Oh yeah, macOS one does look a lot better. Hopefully they do bring that one. I did not realize until now that looked different. Thank you for pointing that out. So yeah, calendar icon on iOS as well. Okay, iPadOS, the calculator app, kind of a big joke by now. And lock screens on the iPad as well. Like, basically, well, let me just hide notifications real fast. I don't think you even can, so let me just do this real fast. Okay. iPad display. So we basically just have this. It's just this, and the only thing you can change is the wallpaper. In Xcode, it's you can add widgets inside of Xcode, so it might come, it might not come, but it's not really optimized that much. So if I were to bring my, oh, here it is. So the circular widgets and rectangular widgets all show up right here instead of under here. So maybe they need to do a little bit of work with that. If they're bringing it to iPadOS 17, they probably already did. And now, speaking of the lock screen with macOS, I also want the lock screens there too, since the lock screens on the Mac have been the same for 10 years at this point, with the exception of like font changes and stuff like that. Okay, camera. Okay. Now, iPadOS, I'm not really asking for too much here since it's an iPad, but yeah, lock screen widgets are the only thing I really want. They also need a feature where you can change the font of the lock screen on iPadOS. Yeah, customizable lock screens, as I was saying. Basically, port the iOS lock screen to iPadOS, since it seems like it was half done. Like, they probably had some UI issues. We kind of saw this inside of iOS 16 Beta 1, where you were able to there was a little trick where you can get lock screen widgets and stuff like that on your iPad, but that has been fixed in Beta 2. Let me see if I can find that real fast. So, iPadOS 16 lock screen editor. It's like you would use shortcuts and stuff like that. And, okay, that's like a, oh wait, no, this is it. Mac built-in. Okay, so here it is right here. You can see the widgets. This is what it looked exactly like in Xcode. It's just that it's not scaled up properly, as we can see here, so a bunch of widgets would need to fix themselves, but to be honest, a lot of widgets probably would. Yeah, I know that if you did this little trick, you were able to get lock screen widgets inside of iPadOS 17. So, an iOS 17, and 16, sorry, and you kept it, and you still have it to this day if you tried it in Beta 1. So you basically needed to use shortcuts to get this little editor running. But, oh yeah, it looks like this person would have the weather app as well. Not sure if that still works, but yeah, here's another picture of it, where you just change the font. I don't know why I'm getting notifications. They need to fix focus. Unless it's on here. Let me look. No, it's not. Okay. Okay. I clicked Siri by accident. Oh, there it is. Okay. So yeah, this is another picture. As you can see, it's a little bit buggy, but with a little bit of work, it would be just fine. So if we were to add widget on the macOS lock screen, that would be nice. Yeah, the macOS lock screen just looks old at this point. Comparing it to Windows, the Windows one is probably better it's actually better in my opinion. So, yeah. Oh, speaking of iOS, I also want the volume slider back when you're playing music. So if you use your HomePod and play music, you do have a volume slider for some reason, even though you can use the volume buttons, but I kind of just want this volume button back. Yeah, debug menu. So, yeah, it looks pretty good right here with it, like, besides the fact that this is extended. but just a tiny bit of work. I guess it was not ready for iOS 16 beta, so they might bring it to iPadOS 17. So, yeah, I hope they bring customizable lock screens to the iPad. Now, iOS 17, I want live wallpapers. You don't need to see that. I should probably close out of Xcode completely. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't care if you see it or not. So, yeah. Live wallpapers. I kind of miss those. Like, they probably should do what they did with the weather one. I would show you, but I'm using continuity camera right now. But, yeah. So the weather one, it basically just shows the weather, like, animations, and it shows it for, like, 10 seconds. Instead of 10 seconds, I kind of want that to be, like, an infinite loop. So we have video lock screens instead of... Which probably be better than live wallpapers, to be honest. We have video wallpapers. Also bring video wallpapers to the Mac since... Yeah, also to the iPad since... Yeah. Let's see, what else? If I take a look at macOS, I probably would know. Yeah, I don't really care about much that Analyst 941 posted, but the control center needs a redesign for sure, but also bring that to the Mac, since the Mac control center looks... Like, imagine having the Mac control center, like the macOS 13 control center, and they update it, and they keep it in macOS 14, but they update it in iOS 17. That would be a lot of inconsistency right there. And I'm kind of surprised with the settings mechanism for updating. Let me show you, wrong one. Okay. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, oops. Oh, yeah. Don't email me, please. I don't care, to be honest, but I'm kind of surprised the beta update mechanism came in a later update. Like, I thought they'd just want to keep this consistent. So, oh yeah, battery health on the iPad is something I want a lot. So, yeah, I'm at 81% on my Mac. Don't make fun of me. Yeah, I use my Mac way too much. I'm trying to drain it to 79 since my battery life is kind of messed up, and I don't think this is the accurate amount, so don't mind this being off. So, yeah, they need to bring battery health and optimized battery charging. Optimized battery charging makes a huge difference when it comes to battery health. And if you use like a third-party tool to get your battery health, it's really different. So, I just want to see the poll. I think it's, 25% macOS, 75% iOS 17. So... okay. Here, 1 second. I'm gonna send this to my friend. Okay. So, now so with tvOS 17, Messages app probably not coming, to be honest, but Safari probably needs to come to keep up with competitors. Both Samsung and Amazon TV you have like built-in web browsers, so it would be nice if we have Safari on the Apple TV, and maybe open up WebKit and let more browsers come in on the Apple TV as well. For example, if people really want Google Chrome on the Apple TV, just let them, even though it's kind of weird that you would use Google Chrome on an iPhone or iPad. I understand the Mac a little bit, but iPhone and iPad is basically just a new interface for Safari. Yeah, iOS 17 did not come out quite yet. It will be out for developers next week, and I'm a developer. I might probably install it on my phone just to beta test it. But yeah, I'm most excited about macOS since if we take a look at the accessibility thing that Apple released, new window, Apple, I'm going to switch this, I keep clicking on the monitor, I want the built-in display mostly. So if we were to go down to did they update it? Okay, no, they did it. I thought they updated the WWDC thing. Okay, so if we go down to Newsroom and then go down to the accessibility thing, I saw something with, where is it? Here it is. Okay. with the accessibility thing that they posted. Here it is right here. The forward arrow button in settings. So if we were to go down into accessibility right here, actually, general software, actually no, it doesn't matter. Accessibility, hearing devices seems new. I think it's going to be in like audio and then hearing devices. Like, what is this all about right here? Like, you can see that there's no forward arrow button right here. It's not grayed out or anything. Like, it's just there, and yeah. Will they be bringing a forward arrow button system-wide instead of only in Safari? Like, we can see we have the forward arrow button here. Maybe. And we might also get this in iOS 17 for apps that use navigation views. No, not navigation views. That's deprecated. Navigation stacks and navigation split views as an effort to try to get developers to use it. But yeah, also this kind of looks different right here. The toggles. So if I were to hope something doesn't happen. Maybe it's just that I'm using dark mode. Let me switch this real fast. Yeah, it's because I'm using dark mode that it has a weird outline. I'm going to turn that off just in case a notification comes in. I don't think a notification will come in during the stream. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me switch back so I'm not blinding people. Okay. So, yeah, you can see this forward arrow button here inside of iOS and macOS 14. So they do use the macOS 13 wallpaper, probably just so they don't reveal the wallpaper until WWDC. But this is very interesting. We also got some more screenshots right here, like this thing. I guess it's more of a spell check, looks like. Dictate text, voice control guide. Looks like that's a brand new app inside of macOS. And yeah, text size on macOS. We don't even have text size. It would be really nice if we have text size here. So it looks like not display settings. It looks like it's going to be in accessibility and then display. Yeah, this is where it's going to be. So we can see that the forward arrow button is present here. So yeah, the same exact menu. This is, unless they change it up, which I kind of doubt they did. But we might see that forward arrow button system-wide instead of just in Safari. And I hope that does come to be, since if you like scroll backwards, you might want to go back forward. And maybe on iOS and iPadOS, as I said, there would be a gesture. And yeah, there's quite a bit here. Also, I really like this UI right here for the Photos app. Like this back button here. Now, I know that might be a little bit too excessive for some people, but also, this kind of looks... I'm not sure how I feel about this part right here and this part, but yeah. Also, a calls app. Is this going to be like... Are they going to replace the FaceTime and phone app and merge them into one? That'd be kind of interesting if they do. Also, yeah, I think if we have the icons here, they're probably not coming unless something else happens. But, yeah. Okay. Now, enough about that. Let me switch back to the camera. So, Safari on Apple TV. Let's see what else on the Apple TV that I want. Not really much else. Widgets probably would be nice on the Apple TV. Then I would definitely port Willy widgets to the Apple TV. Like, just imagine having useful information like on the side right here. So if you just had information right here and all your apps right here, that would probably be a really nice interface. So you'd be able to like see a countdown if you really wanted to, a bunch of other stuff as well. Like maybe Apple could add a weather app on the Apple TV as well. That'd be a really nice one to have, just looking at the weather straight on your TV, which I'm sure not much people would do, but it would be really nice if they added it. It's just that tvOS 16 was such a minor update, but yeah, a bunch of tvOS 16 features came, like just one of them that I'm thinking about, which is the update mechanism that they use there. But yeah, it's a little bit different just getting updates on the Apple TVs in general, so yeah, it's more automatic in my opinion. let's see, what else do I want to know? Do I want to say? On macOS, the music app needs a redesign. The music app seems like more like iTunes, to be honest. So if I were to show it off here, built-in display, you can see my playlist right here. But if we were to take a look at the iPad OS one, let me open it real fast, go to the same exact menu. That's weird. I'm having an iOS 16 bug right here. Like, it's not loading the playlist. So as you can see right here, it's not loading. Hopefully they fix that in... Yeah, I know they want to focus on stability, so if I do this, it should work. Okay, there we go. So you can see that it looks kind of similar, except the buttons are here, or actually here. I should probably figure out how to put side by side for a future stream. So yeah, but the lyrics view pops in right here, which is probably fine on the Mac. Let me switch this here. It's probably fine on the Mac, to be honest, but it doesn't animate well. Also, we don't have Apple Music Sing. Yeah, iTunes Music has looked the same ever since I used it, which has been the last 15 years. So yeah, last 15 years, it has been the exact same, basically. Now, there's even an entire Mac Rumors thread that I want to point out that says that there are missing features for some reason on the music app. Let's go to forums here. It's in macOS Ventura. And music missing features, bugs, and troubleshooting. So this is like showing off all the bugs here and everything else. Unhide features no longer missing. Internet radio, that's interesting. I never knew about that. So yeah, this is what it looks like in macOS Monterey, and I actually noticed this in macOS Ventura, where it would show a dot underneath. It doesn't do that on iOS or iPadOS, but whatever. But the music app, it's a little bit buggy, to be honest. Yeah, a little bit buggy. They probably could use toggles. Like, it's kind of inconsistent that they use toggles inside of settings here, but they use check marks. That's something I want them to change about macOS, since it's kind of weird just having check marks. Check marks maybe would be good in some places, but toggles would be better in other places. For example, like a checklist, that would probably be good for using check marks, but like toggles for something like this, especially if this is a settings menu and this is a setting. Also in here, settings, okay. Especially in here, they probably would need to change them. And yeah, right here, they should put a toggle here. Like, it'd be nice just having a toggle instead of a check mark, to be honest. Change things up a bit, make things more consistent across the entire platform. Yeah. Also, I really, really appreciate if they just put check marks here instead. It probably wouldn't look good, to be honest. Also, I think it goes all the way here inside of Xcode if you were to put a check mark. Like, I know with one of my apps, Test Flight, I need to update my app, but whatever. That's weird. Okay. So with one of my apps right here, I'm not sure why it did not update or something. I'll show you in a bit, but like, it was very weird just like adding a toggle, which is what it's called in Swift. So this was a check mark. It went all the way right here for some reason. It was very strange. It went here instead of here. I guess check marks can't go there for some reason. Or, yeah. But I replaced it with a toggle since it looks better. And yeah, that's why I put a toggle there instead of a check mark. And since by default it is a check mark on Mac Catalyst and Mac, but you have to like change it to a toggle yourself. So, okay. Screen time. So there's not... Oh, I should turn this on. I don't know why it was off, but it's not really consistent across iOS and iPadOS. So if I were to open up screen time, I don't know why it's off. Okay, there we go. Okay, So if you were to take a look at screen time here and switch it to the iPad, you can see that it looks very different. Like, the app usage is automatically just right here, front and center, but on the Mac, it isn't. You need to like go into app usage in order to get this chart. It's kind of a strange way. I guess they just copied and pasted screen time from system preferences. Because I think I'm not sure if this is, I think they rewrote system preferences actually in macOS 11. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, this is a terrible interface on the Mac. Infinitely better on the iPad, I agree. Especially since Apple's all about consistency and stuff like that. Also, Translate app on the Mac. I often just, one time I want to use Translate, it's always on the Mac, but there's no way to use it on the iPad. I might sometimes go on the iPad just to use the Apple Translate app, but it would be a lot better if they just had it on the Mac, to be honest. Since, yeah, I don't like using it on the iPad, especially since I'm not much of a typer on the iPad. But the iPhone, definitely not. I think it's made in SwiftUI, actually. Pretty cool that Apple's using their own tech. Okay, what else? The App Store on the Mac is terrible. Like this is coming from a developer, not a consumer. The App Store on the Mac, very terrible. Like, let me pull up the App Store on iOS. It's also pretty inconsistent. Like at the top, it may look the same, just more optimized for the Mac, to be honest, which I agree with. I don't need to change anything about the top. But if we were to scroll down, it starts getting inconsistent, as you can see right here. Yeah. Very inconsistent here. Also, a lot of developers, including me, complain about discovery on the Mac App Store. Also, it's not really consistent. To be honest, I think they might, for iPadOS, they either want to bring the Mac sidebar to the iPad or organize all the categories. It's just having Discover and Today, like, those sound like the same thing because they are basically the same thing, but the Mac App Store, not really that good on the Mac. Like, something needs to happen with the Mac App Store. I just don't like it that much. But I do like how updates are immediately accessible, so maybe bringing the sidebar to the iPad would probably be the best way, since, yeah, maybe, no, I don't think it would work if they do a Mac Catalyst with the App Store. But then they would need to overhaul it, like change a bunch of stuff. It could work if they do, yeah, sidebars to the iPad. They just adjust the App Store a bit on the iPad, and then bring that to the Mac with Mac Catalyst, change where it gets information from. I'm not 100% sure, but I think TestFlight is a Catalyst app. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. What else do I want? Better feedback app in all of the platforms. So Apple doesn't seem to be reading feedback a whole lot on the platforms, on anything. But it would be really nice if they were to fix some of the issues I sent them. Let me show it. Also, iMessage apps on macOS, like they should just bring it to the Mac. I don't care if it's M1 Mac only, but they should bring it. These are Xcode related issues. Okay. Clocks, alarms, and timers have a chance of not playing a notification sound. I have not heard back, but they did message back, and they keep messaging me back, and I send them more information like they wanted, and I have not gotten a response back for 2 months at this point, almost 3 months. So hopefully this gets fixed. As you can see, this got. Also, QuickTime Player does not record the first couple of seconds, which is a big annoyance to me, so I just completely switched over to OBS for my recording needs. So, since that's really annoying that I just click record, there's no countdown or anything. The microphone indicator appears, but even though it appears there, I still need to wait a little bit. So, yeah, also, not really. You know, QuickTime Player has never recorded. That happened since like High Sierra. I thought it happened in Monterey. I thought it worked well in Big Sur. I'm going to update that right now in the issues thread. Yeah, so it's probably not getting fixed if it's not fixed right now. So High Sierra is Mac OS 10.15, 14, 10.13 High Sierra. So actually, I don't think that's needed. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Yeah, I thought it worked good in Big Sur for some reason. So, but I started using the Mac in Big Sur, so yeah, I'm just not really convinced. Mac OS, oh, what? That was weird. Okay, Mac OS 10.13. Okay. Stage Manager, I'm not much of a fan of it on the Mac, so bringing it to the iPad, I don't really care about it. But I do want them to like not make iPadOS 17 for normal iPads with the A series chips. Basically just iPadOS 15, but with a weather app. That's basically what I felt like it was in iOS and iPadOS 16. But yeah, but we did get a couple of features, but there's nothing really standing out in iPadOS 16. Also, continuity, camera, and system settings were pretty much the only things in macOS Ventura that really stood out to people. So bringing the lock screen widgets would probably be the best way. Oh, also, speaking of widgets, as a widget developer myself, I kind of, like, pretty much nobody uses the widgets here, to be honest. Even I don't use it. I would have removed this widget right by now, so let me just remove that real fast. They also need to fix the sidecars the most buggy. Yeah, I agree. Sidecar's very buggy. Unless you plug it into your Mac, then it's good. But like putting widgets on the Mac, yeah, sidecar, it's very buggy. I agree with that. But I have found that it's better on better Wi-Fi, and if you plug it into your Mac, it's completely fine. So using a wired connection, perfectly fine. Okay. Now watchOS 10. Oh, they discovered even when it's disconnected, it's still. Oh, there's also a weird bug. Even when it's disconnected, it still shows up as an option to move the. It does? Oh, let me try that right now. Once you move the window, it's gone. Okay, displays. Extender mirror display. Okay, there it is. It went over here for some reason. But whatever, it's there right now. So if I were to disconnect it and... Oh, it just turned sidecar back on for me. Okay. 1 second. Let me turn sidecar back off. I'm going to move this to the Mac. Okay. So disconnect, go into menu bar. I don't see it. Displays. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Once you move the window, it's gone. Like, go to the menu bar, move to name of. I talk about the status bar. No, go to the window, move to. So. For me, it just turned back sidecar on, so yeah, it's a weird bug. That's probably what it should be doing, turning sidecar back on. But also, there's a strange bug. Let me just switch it to here. What is the? Oh, yeah, the status bar right here was showing. I don't think it should be doing that. But even when my iPad is turned off, it does that. Oh, okay. So maybe if I try it again. Let me monitor built-in display. Okay. Disconnect. Close it. And I should do a different window. I'm gonna Command N this. And it's weird. It's working on mine. Just enable double tap on Apple Pencil, because why not? Wait, does the Apple Pencil work? Oh my gosh, it works. What? It's touchscreen, but you need to use the Apple Pencil. It's weird. Okay. Oh, what happened? Oh, yeah, that was weird. Okay. Okay, sidecar disconnected for me. But, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry that the stream did that. I think I accidentally hit the screensaver, but yeah, you can see the lock screen was ancient. Like, it's been the same since 2013, as far as I know. With the exception of Big Sur, where they roundified the password thing. And Memoji in macOS Monterey. Like, I hope they do something with that. Like, that's my main feature that I want. Okay, hardware, not much into hardware. Just as long as I get the latest updates. I'm more into the software, since I'm a software developer, probably. Let's see. Mixed reality headset. Maybe if it's very revolutionary, like I can't predict how revolutionary it would be, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But hopefully it's revolutionary or something. I'm going to switch this back to only camera. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, what else do I want? iPad Catalyst, maybe. Maybe that's how they put Final Cut, but they have to strip a bunch of features for some reason, so maybe that's not how they put Final Cut on the iPad. Maybe they just base it off iMovie or wrote it from the ground up. Yeah, I'm just not sure how Final Cut on the iPad and Logic on the iPad was made, but according to one of my friends, it is very limited. Logic Pro is very limited on the Mac, so yeah. Fortunately, that's how things are. That's how Apple wants to do it. Hopefully they bring more features back to the iPad version. How long have we been going for? We've been going for 37 minutes, okay. Let's see, what else? I'm gonna get water. Okay, let's see. Mail app I think is fine. Maybe they could use the default Gmail thing. Like, instead of IMAP, they just use Gmail to get their stuff. And native iCloud. Like, they just use IMAP instead of doing it all natively in the app. So, I just hope they do that. Let's see, what else do I want? Built-in menu bar management. So, Mail needs a lot of improvements. Yeah, on the Mac, it's kind of buggy in my opinion. But yeah, I had a couple bugs with Mail in the past. But one big improvement that they can do is instead of using IMAP to get the email fetching, you basically use built-in Gmail to, like, the Gmail API to get it. Since for a while, IMAP servers were blocked at my school, so I couldn't use the built-in mail app, but they recently unblocked IMAP servers, so... And apparently at a couple workplaces, IMAP is blocked there as well, so... It would just be nice if they decided to use the built-in APIs provided by these companies and maybe use IMAP for other inboxes. But yeah, I know there was an app that released that used built-in Gmail. Like, it was a Gmail client that looks like Apple Mail. It's probably better than Apple Mail, to be honest, but probably mainly because it used the API that Google provided for Gmail. But even for iCloud, they use IMAP for it. So If they just decide to change it, yeah, Outlook. Yeah, apparently Outlook has issues on the Mac as well. So, yeah, good luck with that. I just hope that there are issues for you. Yeah, but I just use the built-in mail app since it's there. But yeah, let's see, what else do I want? There's not much else I want on the Mac, to be honest, besides the volume mixer, that's right. So the volume mixer, this thing needs to get redesigned. Like, it has gotten in the way in the middle of a final. Let me see. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. It got in the way in the middle of one of my finals. So, yeah, I had to wait like 5 seconds before I can continue typing. Same with the brightness thing. Like, that should get redesigned. I don't know why they haven't redesigned yet. It's weird. But hopefully they redesign it in macOS 14. Like, apparently Mark Gurman says they're going to bring more iOS features to the Mac, which is a big welcome feature for me at least. But I know a lot of people will be upset about it. For some, oh, did Apple release something? Oh no. Okay. Never mind. Okay, I thought Apple released something because I have 5 Discord notifications, but yeah. I'm going to take a look right now, actually, at what it is. Oh, it's DMs. Okay. I thought one of them was Mac Rumors, since I have a Mac Rumors bot, which you should totally join right now if you have not joined the Discord server. Join it right now. Link is in the description down below. You can get pinged anytime Apple updates, anytime Mac Rumors makes a new post, and a bunch of other things as well. I made it very interactive, so you can comment on basically anything that happens in the world of Apple. Yeah. Let's see. What else? So if they were to bring a better HomeKit, like the home architecture, still kind of bad, to be honest. But if they just bring like the newer home architecture, yeah, still pretty bad, to be honest. Like, improved home app, I guess. Maybe they can work with, like, I sometimes have issues with Miros devices where I need to unplug like every single Miros device and HomeKit accessory in order to just get the Miros devices to work. So it's very annoying that I gotta do that. I think it's the Home Hubs, actually, the HomePod and the Apple TVs that I gotta do, and then it works just fine. So yeah, okay. Let's see, what else do I want? Not much into gaming on the Mac, so I was actually considering getting into Resident Evil Village on the Mac, but one thing that stopped me, and actually, never mind. It doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, I hope they fix QuickTime, the clock app. Those are my 2 main issues with the Mac. Especially, multi-timers. That's right. Thinking about the clock app made me think about multi-timers. So, on the Mac, you can have multiple alarms. Hit this plus button here, and it works with the world clock as well. Stopwatch doesn't work since I don't think you would need multiple stopwatches, but timers, the plus button is here. This would make sense if you just press start, press the plus button, you can add another timer, and then it could just like show a different UI of timers. Like, that would be really nice if they were to bring that to the Mac and also the iPhone and iPad. Like, they have done it before with the Apple Watch and the HomePod, so I think everything was developed in Swift, so I actually think the clock app might be Swift UI. I could easily recreate this probably inside of Swift UI if I really wanted to, and give me like a couple days on it. I can make a fully functional clock app clone in Swift UI. And yeah, let's see, what else? So multiple timers. I bet a lot of people here would agree on that. Journaling app sounds interesting from what I hear. So it sounds like you'll be able to log your journal, will give you notifications and advice, but I hope that's optional since I know some people might not want advice, since I know some people already don't like their Apple Watch telling them to stand up every hour. So speaking of watchOS widgets sounds really interesting, but I'm not a big fan of the honeycomb thing. Actually, I think I can AirPlay to the... I think if I go here and... Oh, I had to use my phone for it. Never mind. For some... Yeah, you can AirPlay to your Mac with your Apple Watch. Like, there's a little workaround, but I'm using my phone for continuity camera, so... So speaking of watchOS, I'm not a big fan of the honeycomb layout. So I'm not a fan of the list view either. It doesn't make sense on the Apple Watch Focus. There it is. So if they were to bring like that grid view that was rumored, it sounds like it's going to be an alternative at this point. But it'd be really nice if they brought that. Also, running the segment view, does it have a add segment button? I don't like that. I need to double tap it. It gets really annoying that you need to double tap it. Easier way to recover your Apple Watch for watchOS 11. That would be nice if they did that. But widgets, to be honest, don't really make sense, but I will for sure support widgets on the Apple Watch with my widget app, Willy Widgets. And what else do I want? Yeah, it's kind of sad that a lot of developers are no longer supporting a watchOS app, so maybe somehow getting all these app developers to come back and make a Apple Watch app would make it a lot better. Because at this point, Apple seems to be prioritizing the fitness app and not really anything else. Like, the weather app, the only thing that has changed about the weather app is the weather source. So it would be really nice if we got more the metrics that we got in iOS 15 on the Apple Watch. Listening to music straight on the Apple Watch with the speakers, it's possible, they just don't do it. So therefore Garmin is better in that case. Yeah, I like how I'm comparing Apple Watch to Garmin, even though I say Apple Watch is better because it is. Yeah, watchOS 10 is apparently going to be like the biggest update to the Apple Watch. So, yeah, I really like the continuity camera here on the Apple Watch. It's very useful. I find that useful, but we need a way to play music on the actual speakers of the Apple Watch, or else Garmin would be better in that case. So, why would you want, oh, on runs. So, if you're like running, you can just swipe over, press play. You don't need AirPods or anything, you can just hear it. So Garmin actually has that. So you just do a workout, you switch apps. Yeah, iOS 17 comes out this fall for everyone, July or late June for public beta testers, and next week for me. So, and other developers. Yeah, so we need a better like listening experience. So if you just be on a run, and just swipe over because you want music, you can just play downloaded music on your Apple Watch instead of needing AirPods in all the time. That would be nice. Lighting in my room is pretty terrible with the camera, so let me fix that real fast. Okay, that's a lot better, except there's shadows, but... Oh no, that's worse now that I look at it. Okay. Sorry, it's red right now. I'll fix it. Temperature. Okay, I think this is the best. Okay, now lighting looks a lot better on the camera. So, yeah. So as I was saying, just running with your Apple Watch and listening to music. Bring that to third-party apps as well. Like, the API is there to play music on the Apple Watch. It's just not being used by Apple. Yeah. Okay. Maps app. I'm going to be looking at the Apple Watch just in case. The home app is like the same as well. Like, unorganized. So put the rooms on the top or something. Or like below the thing. Like below these things right here. I think these are the only things that are new in watchOS 9 on the home app. But like, instead of just having all your favorite accessories crammed here, maybe put a rooms button or something to show rooms. And then scenes and favorites. So you just tap rooms, scroll down a little bit, tap your room. Instead of just needing to see if your accessory is here. But not all the accessories are here. Like the HomePods and Apple TVs aren't. My sister's light strip isn't here, so yeah. Or just put all the accessories there in like order of most used or something, or most toggled. By you, for sure. Yeah, so on the Apple Watch, bringing music, like listening to music, it's not a gimmick. Garmin does it. It looks very useful. Like, you're not allowed to wear AirPods. Like, I do cross country and track. You're not allowed to wear AirPods on the run, so because you need to be looking out for cars and stuff like that. But that would also help with safety quite a bit, and I know Apple's big on safety. Let's see, what else? Precision finding. The Apple Watch has a U1 chip in it, so it's far more than capable of precision finding an iPhone, and AirTags as well. So you can like point towards your iPhone. That would be pretty useful to do. Since the iPhones have the U1 chip, the Apple Watch has the U1 chip. Put those together, you have a good Find My experience. Anything else? Unsending messages on the Apple Watch. That should be pretty easy to implement. So inside of this menu right here, maybe add an unsend button, maybe down here, or like change the share button to options, and then it would show share, and then yeah, and then it would just be nice if they added a unsend button inside of the Messages app on the Apple Watch. iOS 17 comes out this fall. Can you please stop spamming that, please? So it comes out this fall, and it comes out for me next week on June 5th after the developers conference, which, by the way, I will be reacting live to it. I'm trying to figure out a way so we can see the screen without Apple copyright striking us, since the copyright took down but did not copyright strike us last year. Since I show WWDC on the screen, Apple's very strict about that. So if you want to get into streaming, don't show WWDC up there. Anything else on the Apple Watch that we would want? Not really. Some people say the Settings app is pretty bad. The Calculator app could be a little bit more advanced, since instead of this, you could add a couple more functions in there, like exponents, square roots, pi. So you can use this on a test if you really wanted to. Let's see, what else should they add to there? Tips app is okay. So yeah, listening to podcasts on the Apple Watch while running or something. Not much else could happen on the Apple Watch. So HomePod OS, better Siri, better Siri in general. Maybe making it generative AI would be nice. Just like ChatGPT. I hear Apple might be working on their own technology for it. So that would be pretty nice if they did that. And on the iPad, they could just do Finder app. Full-blown Finder. Call it Finder as well, please, since it would make it more iconic. But to be honest, I kind of see the Finder on the Mac just being renamed to Files. So that would be boring if they do that, but it's probably what would happen most likely. Anything else? Not on the Apple Watch, I could say. Yeah, iOS 17, not much I'm asking for there. Like, basically better lock screens, interactive widgets would be nice. And, yep. Let's see. Anyone else here, or should I end off the stream? So I have a couple more things. Like, I could talk hardware-wise on what I want. But if nobody's here, then I might just end the stream. Okay. Okay, looks like nobody else is here. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, share the stream with your friends. And tune in next Friday to hear about what I think is coming. Not my wish list. What I think is coming to WWDC. Bye!